All right, we're here, and none of us have any face paint on, so that way, we are legit today.
Yes, yes, indeed. All right. So I'm Demetrius,
And I'm Demetrius,
and Meet Meets presents.
the Blur City Podcast.
All right. So we got a good one today with recent news that just happened. We're going to have to actually add stuff like right at the beginning. So we're going to jump straight into it. Meech, hit us with legal spiegel.
Oh yeah, the purpose of this podcast is to explore digital and print media. All sources we reference are owned by their respective companies, and thoughts and opinions are strictly our own and reflect no biases or corporate agendas. Your discretion is advised.
All right. So with that, we are doing the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie review. If you want to see that, just like click on the link. We'll have the timestamps below. But something that happened recently, was it Friday or Thursday of this
Oh, it's
week?
Friday.
Friday. So early morning, woke up to the news that Netflix bought Warner Brothers Studios for 83 billion with a B dollars.
Lord have
This
mercy.
this is big news. I have 2 points that I can start to break down for just so people can understand how big this is. But one, we're gonna start with IP, intellectual property that Netflix now owns. They own DC, so
Yup.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all of that, they now own it. They own Harry Potter.
Mhm.
All of Harry Potter, they now own. Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, Network, all the old Hanna-Barbera things, Tom and Jerry as well. They now own that. Netflix owns this. HBO Max and everything underneath it, which is the big one, Game of Thrones, The Last of Us, they now own that as well. The Wire, Sopranos, and the like is now owned by Netflix. Monsterverse, Godzilla, King Kong is now owned by Netflix. Before I get into the second part of why this is so important, Meech, what are your initial thoughts?
I'm like, boy, all right. So I'm gonna give you like my first immediate thoughts when I saw the news. It was, oh no, my Netflix rate's about to go up. It's about to go up like crazy. But like upon further reflection, after getting that piece of shock out of my wallet, my system, it was like, oh, they about to go crazy with the IPs. Do you understand like how much of it is going to? Basically, there's two lines. One is just how many IPs that they already got is now gonna just stream on Netflix. Just how much of everything about to stream on Netflix. And the second part is, are they going to do what Disney Plus did to Hulu, which is completely absorb Hulu into Disney Plus to where you could see everything? So are they going to absorb HBO Max into Netflix? And now Netflix got a complete and total bag.
And that was my second point. Something else that they also now own. They own Dune. They own the property for Dune, which made a billion. But with that, like, as soon as I thought it was like my thoughts were the same as yours. I was like, yo, HBO Max is not existing in 2027 if I'm Netflix. I mean, technically, you still own it now, and you can technically still have it, but the goal of Netflix is for you to subscribe to Netflix. So if you absorb HBO Max into Netflix, more people switch to Netflix now, which is absolutely crazy. But also just thinking about it, Netflix is a streaming service. They sometimes kind of release movies, but it's like really brief in theaters. It's usually limited release. Like the new Frankenstein movie that they just released was in theaters for like 2 weeks, and not like a widespread map.
Also, like how Stranger Things, the finale is going to be in theaters.
Yes, so like they'll do it in bits and pieces, like with K-pop Demon Hunters, they released like the sing-along version in theaters, but that was after it was a hit. How are they going to now impact movies? Because Warner Brothers did a lot of releases in theaters, and these are some of the biggest movies that came out this year. All of these movies are owned by Warner Brothers that I'm going to say. Sinners, Minecraft, Minecraft made $1 billion.
Yup.
One battle after another is probably going to win every Oscar. Weapons.
Oh,
Superman.
oh.
Speaking of which, we'll get in the what's hot. This Supergirl teaser trailer is going to come out at some point this week. Final Destination Bloodlines. They own that.
Yep.
And The Conjuring 4. So they now own the Conjuring universe. We were joking about it, Meech. They're about to make some more Conjuring movies.
They're about to do Conjuring Stranger Things. Oh no.
Crossover.
Oh.
Oh yeah, they own the film rights to Lord of the Rings as well. So we're gonna get more of that.
About to get a whole series.
And in terms of games, they own the Arkham games series, or like that studio, and they own Mortal Kombat. So this is interesting. I think, well, the streaming wars is now over, but they have. I'm surprised this could happen. I feel like this is like Monopoly status.
Oh, 100%. Remember when I remember like a long time ago when we were talking about just how much power does the mouse have when Disney just started buying up stuff left and right?
Yes.
Now we got its direct competitor trying to go band for band and do the exact same thing. And now you say the streaming wars is over. I mean, kinda is, but I feel like this is only the beginning.
More companies are going to die out because I was talking to my siblings about it, and some companies are already doing cross bundles because I saw earlier that like I think it's Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max has a bundle
Yep.
together, but then also Peacock and Apple TV have a bundle together.
Mm-hmm.
Peacock, I don't know.
That one about to get absorbed next by who we don't know.
Paramount about to get up out of here. That's all I'm about to say. For that one. But yeah, that's just crazy to think about it because now you have what were the big four in a sense, and then like with Hulu, Disney Plus, I don't know if I would count it as a big four, but it's like if you have kids, it has like a baseline for it. HBO Max and Netflix. Now it's like 2-2 for that, just the big ones. Then you have Peacock, Amazon Prime, which again, Amazon Prime is kind of like building its library in terms of its own content. More news that just dropped today as well with that. But man, it's really like, yo, Netflix, they might not be done. That's all I'll say.
Yep. It's only the beginning. Remember when they took out Redbox?
To think about where they came from to where they are now is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can imagine. Jeez.
so we'll definitely be following it. Best believe those subscription cost. I think it's for some probably already over $30, but it's about to be crazy once they figure out how they want to do this.
My wallet.
All
I've been
right, so-
restructuring all my subscription services. Like, hold on, let me redo some calculations. Instead, I got to do that.
And dang it, what's crazy is because HBO Max doesn't cut down on password sharing, and Netflix figured out how to do that.
Oh,
And it's also crazy because Hulu cut down on password sharing, but Disney Plus technically hasn't yet. But they own the same thing, so they know how to do it if they wanted to.
oh no. Yep. Everybody might be cooked. There's no more Netflix and chilling anymore. Just empty wallets.
We're just gonna be doing shadow puppets at this point.
At this point, I might as well just go ahead and cut my cable back on.
All right. So, any other thoughts before we? Definitely more news to come with that in the next few years and months. But any news before we get into this Five Nights at Freddy's 2?
No. Just keep on the lookout because things about to go at it like clockwork.
All right. So with this, we're getting into the pre-spoiler for the Five Nights at Freddy's. With that, obviously, we both saw the first original Five Nights at Freddy's, which was released on Peacock. Again, a very adequate streaming service, just not as big as what we've discussed. So with that, Meech, did you think they were going to do a sequel before or like at all? I mean, I know they teased it like kind of towards the end with Snaptrap, right? Is that his name?
Springtrap.
Springtrap. I know they teased it, but did you think they were going to do a sequel? Because it kind of caught me off guard.
Oh no, I definitely knew they were gonna do sequel because listen. When it comes to the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise and its fandom, it is geared towards the Gen Alpha, the Gen Z, and tries to bring the millennials into it, with the animatronics. And because of the fact that the games themselves are major cash cows, to the fact to a point where like people are out here slurping up books, people creating whole enterprises, game theory, on just the lore of the series. Like, oh yeah, nah, it's gonna make so much bank to where they are going to create more movies. They're gonna create movies basically on each one. I can already tell right now, especially. I don't care if this movie, like a spoiler alert, like got major negative reviews from critics. No, they're going to keep milking this franchise dry like they did the games.
I have thoughts on that, which is kind of at the start, partially, and I'll dive deeper in once we get into the spoiler section. So, this was one of the best theater like audience post-pandemic experiences I've had in a while. Because like when I went to Demon Slayer, there was a lot of people, but like it was very subdued. But with this one, like people were laughing, people came up dressed up. They had they weren't full furry, but they were like minor furry. It would be like acceptable on your threshold. They had the hat, but like no tails. I didn't see any tails and stuff like that. So that's acceptable.
Well,
They had like plushies and stuffed animals as well.
glad you had a good experience.
Oh,
I had the opposite.
really?
You had probably had the cool demographic. I got the screaming kids. The kids who would not shut up right behind me. In fact, a couple threw like some popcorn down at me. Almost crashed out right then and there, became Anakin, but I had to calm down and watch the movie for the review. And then the bunch of screaming kids like at the bottom, because like I sit towards the middle,
Yes.
like the middle in the middle. So like give me direct screen.
Yes.
Kids at the bottom wouldn't shut up. People behind me would not shut up. I was about to lose it. I was about to, and then realize, am I about to be one of those people? Actually, I didn't even have to because other people were crashing out over them too.
Where'd you go?
The Regal.
I went to the read. I saw it at RPX on like opening night, and I was good. And there were like young people. I mean, it was like mostly like teenagers because I saw it at like 7:45. But I mean, there were a few kids, but everyone was chill with it.
I didn't see it till like the day after.
That makes sense, but dang, that sucks. So, because like my theater experience made the movie even better for me, as we'll get into it. But with that, anything else you need to know?
I mean, hey, if you know the games, you can kind of get a grasp on it. Otherwise, there's a bunch in here that the games absolutely did not do, especially in regards to a certain puppet-like character. That character is puppet in name and appearance only. And also this movie had a budget anywhere between 36 and 51 million.
Wow, that is not a lot for as much money as it probably made.
Oh, it already made 109.
Dang. Dang. All right. So
Opening weekend, by the way.
yes, in order to understand this movie, I would say you definitely need to see the first movie because it's a direct continuation.
Yep.
All right. So with that, we are getting into our Five Nights at Freddy's review in 3, 2, 1. First off, I'd like to say I love how they opened it up. The flashback and then telling you to stay till the end was absolutely brilliant.
Yep. And also seeing like as the opening credits was going on and they're like, yeah, we're counting down and having all the kids count down until it hit 0 and then the whole shebang started in 1982.
So first of all, I'm already gonna spoil one of my awards. For Charlotte, I was like, hey, I understand.
Man, boy, boy, I'm right there with you. Crash out validated.
So getting into it, we open up flashback, as you mentioned, Meech, 1982. It's a children's birthday party. I don't believe it was hers.
Nope.
Right. So children's birthday party. She's alone. She's sitting in front of like the stage. If you've been to a Chuck E. Cheese, you kind of understand the setup of Five Nights at Freddy's stage with the animatronics. So she's always waiting for this one puppet to come. We see this blonde kid girl come up to her, and like that's like seems to be her only friend. We learn throughout it's Vanessa, and we also know like in the first movie that Vanessa knows that her dad is like foul, a serial killer and stuff like that. So with that, we see him in his I was about to say furry gear. Yes, the rabbit setup snatches a kid, just straight up snatches, palms the back of his head, is like, get over here. And then she's like, yo, help me, help me. The first dude is like, go talk to your parents. I'm like, what? The second one is like, the grown-ups are talking. And then what was the third one?
Oh, no. The second one was the black dude.
Yes, the
like,
black dude.
Oh, not now.
And then the third one was like, excuse me, adults. I was like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, she wants help, and like, y'all are so dismissive.
Ooh, I was so mad at each and every one of them. I was like,
so then she has to run into the back, save little Ricky. And then so when she's carrying him to safety, I'm like, homegirl is going to the shadow realm because the pops is coming with the knife, and I'm like, I loved how they did it because it kind of made it seem like she was safe at first. And I was like, ain't no way she's safe. So then she lets out like a yell, a scream. Everyone like, yo, what is crazy? While holding the boy in her arms. And then the boy gets up. He's like, oh, I'm good. Mom's like,
and for me, I'm like, hold on, Ricky. Why? How are you up?
You couldn't run yourself? You're heavy behind.
Get yourself up.
So she falls to the ground and she has like 3 stab wounds. But from there, it kind of is like everyone's quiet. And then she falls into like the trap hole that they see, and then raises up. She falls into the arms of the marionette, which you can kind of go more in depth about these characters.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, and just going along with that, yeah, Charlotte. Yeah, this is completely different from like how she dies in the game lore. Is like she gets murdered outside in the rain, and then the puppet animatronic like leaves the Freddy's, finds her corpse, lays on her, and then becomes possessed. But hey, this is definitely much more in your face about it.
Especially for the setup of how it goes on later into the movie. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now it cuts to 20 years later. If you do math, this is 2002. No, that's not a relevant year in the lore. Same with 1982, no relevant year at all. So at this point you got like, all right, firstly, you got Vanessa. She out here, she having nightmares and whatnot, theoretically about the situation. And she gets a call from Mike, who asks her out on a date. And you're like, or it's not a date, except everybody and their grandmama are like, it's a date. And then you got Abby, who just hops into the bus, helping the boy out, and then she out here spilling the beans about what happened in the first movie. Out here spelling it out for everybody. You got Mike, who's out here painting the house. Yes, I will need help with that later. And he's just talking with like Jeremiah, the same dude from the last movie, black guy.
I thought he was cooked in this movie.
Oh, I did too. I thought he was done. I was like, oh Lord, a brother in this movie. Nah, we ain't making it.
So we gotta talk about this teacher.
Oh, op of the year. Spoiler alert, op of the year right here. Oh, I hated his guts because, all right, so Abby is in robotics class, right? And she's trying to like tinker, like make a little mini animatronic because, she misses her friends and she wants to help her parent. This teacher, he's like, okay, yeah, remember, I don't care about this fast, none of this. All y'all better be at this science fair. Otherwise, y'all all gonna fail. And she goes up to Abby, looks at what she has, is like, hey, I think it's better if you don't bring your contraptions up here. It crosses her name off the list he's like, because remember, otters ought to help other otters. I'm like, boy, if you don't shut your...
And I forgot his character name in Seinfeld, but it's like it's not Ned. It's like something like cringy. But I know he was also in Space Jam as like the one that the Stan, the dude that was Michael Jordan's
You want to know what's crazy?
girlfriend.
You want to know what he came up for me?
What?
I immediately remembered he was what's his name in Jurassic Park.
Oh, you're right. The dude that got spit on by the thing and eaten.
Yes, that's where I remember him from.
Always a scumbag. So with that, something you mentioned that was really important. So with there is this new I guess it's a festival called Fast Fest. So it's kind of celebrating the old Freddy Fazbear kind of lore because Mike's aunt was committed for talking about evil animatronics that tried to kill her, understandably so. So kind of just kind of moving indeed. So kind of moving forward from there, again, as you said, she Abby misses her friends, but Mike is kind of lying about fixing them because there's kind of more in depth to go about it. One, I would not even pretend like I'm going to fix them, but
Heck no.
so
I'd be like, listen, nah, we ain't fixing them. I'm sorry. They staying out of commission.
yes. So as he goes to what is a date with Vanessa, on the TV screen, we see something called spectral scoopers, who are essentially the ghost hunters of that universe. So as he's talking to Vanessa, he becomes that type of person that always wants to fix people after they get their problems fixed. So it's like, hey, I went on this very cool diet. You should try it as well. Type of deal. And she wasn't ready for it. It's just because you can't force people to deal with their trauma just because you've quote unquote dealt with your trauma. And throughout this movie, we just see like Mike is in a place where he's like, hey, I want to move past this. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Very avoiding in the guise of trying to move on, but in reality him trying to suppress everything as we find out like throughout this movie only makes things worse
Hmm.
because as you do this, right? Abby, she disappears to go back to the Freddy's location.
Not before. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go back to the Freddy's location, and she's just sitting there because she's trying to find like her friends, aka the OG animatronics, and they're gone. Like the whole place is dilapidated. Uh, and then Mike, like after leaving the date, goes and finds her, and he tries like uh, tries to comfort her because like, hey, yeah, they're gone now and we can move on. And like, hey, we can help like, find you new friends. And in doing that, Abby finds the fast talker and
Hmm.
then like as they're leaving, he notices a pamphlet that goes like Freddy
Fast. Yeah.
Fazbear's Murder.
Hmm.
And he just grabs it. He's like, hold on, what's this? Then what I'm thinking you were probably allude to
Yep.
is when the spectral scoopers arrive.
That's crazy. One of them being the dude, I believe he was the brother from Final Destination Bloodlines.
He was also the first brother in Chucky.
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah. He's getting
He's
his
having a rough
fucking
time.
I was like, he's getting his I'm murdered bag.
Yes. So going to that, so we see this creepy dude who is Michael, not Mike. At the as the spectral scoopers pull up, he appears out of nowhere, and with that, kind of invites them in. He's giving them the walk around. So again, you can talk about these characters much better than I. So we kind of the girl's name doesn't matter. The girl one from Spectral Scoopers, she's like, "Hey, I hear a noise. I'm gonna go downstairs." The brother from Final Destination Bloodlines is like, just kind of like perusing. He's kind of like a jerk. Well, he plays a jerk, kind of aloof dude, obviously because they're scammers. And then there's another guy. So he goes down the tunnel. What's the tunnel? A Wonderful World or It's a Wonderful Life
Oh,
thing
oh,
in Disney.
oh yeah.
I forgot. So he goes down the tunnel, he slips in the water, refuses to get out of the water, and then it looks like so the mini marionettes are kind of like in the tunnel, and then once he slips down, you just see all of them in the water. And what I think happens is like piranhas, but it kind of shows you what happens later on with that. So then the girl she closes kind of this box that has like this song playing, which opens up the box that the marionette was in. So then she gets snatched up, and then homeboy, he gets killed. And then it turns out that the girl is now possessed by the marionette. And then Michael says, welcome
back,
back,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. And it's like, oh,
Just FYI, yeah, no, the marionette cannot do that in the games. It cannot possess people, and also she cannot do anything of what else she does in this movie. I'm letting you know that right now. All right.
so I wanted to ask, is the marionette like a major character in one of the games?
Oh yeah. Well, firstly, it only appears in two games, the second one and then the sixth one. And actually, it kind of alludes to how it is in the sixth one by what happens later in this movie. But with the but
Okay.
in any case, like, yeah, it's a major character in both, and it has major lore implications, but it's not as antagonistic as it is in this one, in this movie.
Yes. So, kind of with what you're saying during these kind of parallel storylines. So, during this time, Vanessa, she does what Mike does in the first movie. So, she essentially goes into her dreams, is able to kind of like have it's not vivid dream. What's the one where you can kind of like
Lucid
see
dream.
like yeah, so she has like lucid dreaming, confronts her father in different variations. I really love the scene how it goes from her like being an adult to a kid, then being to her
Look,
cop version. Her dad just through different variations, and he's like, "Yo, you're mine. You're always gonna be mine. You're not gonna escape. So let's kill people." Which is crazy. So then, able to confront that, she takes him out, wakes up, goes to Mike's house. Abby is like hiding, but like has the whole fast talk thing, as you mentioned, and she like has drawings of the original Freddy Fazbear's location, where Charlotte died, and she's saying like, "Hey, I met Chica at this place." So Vanessa is trying to tell her this, but I guess this happened off screen. Mike, he called the number, and it ended up being the dad, Charlotte's dad, which is crazy. And so she's trying to explain, like, hey, I think Abby went to the original Freddy Fazbear place. And then he's like, hey, you didn't tell me that, Charlotte. There was another murder besides the other kids. You can't be lying and hiding stuff to me. And it kind of goes back to what we talked about, where it's like, she has years upon years upon years of trauma induced upon her. And it's kind of like, I guess, as she tries to reach normal, she doesn't just want to dump all that on Mike, you know?
yeah, it's like you dump all of that on one person, you trauma dump like that. That's the easiest way for a person to leave.
That's the red flag.
Red flag of dating.
Yeah, so with that, she goes back to the OG Freddy Fazbear. Okay, so now we get to the part that actually pissed me off. So Mike drops Abby off at the robotics competition. So she has her kind of like updated project. I believe at this point she has the mini animatronic able to work. And the teacher who is like sees her is like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he did the most, I wish I could say the word I want to say, but the most messed up thing.
Me.
Yes, just like he takes her animatronic, and I'm already like, no, do not hand this dude the animatronic.
It's like,
Takes
that
it,
thing in your hand and
he goes, yeet, and just drops it. He literally just drops it in front of her. He was like, oh, my bad. I guess, I can give you an A. All right, get up out of here. We're going to get this 4 years in a row award. And she's like heartbroken. Of course she's heartbroken because she put her time, effort in this. We also need to mention,
Chica.
yes, we also need to mention that during this period, when she visited, as you mentioned, she eventually visited the OG Freddy Fazbear herself, meets the new Chica, who can now talk. And I was like, oh, that is creepy. And has like a kind of fresh coat instead of like it's still animatronic in the first one, but now it's more sleek, more metallic, dangerous in a sense. And so she's like, hey, I need you to do me this little favor real quick, homegirl, because also Vanessa visited after talking to her, and she got snatched up by Charlotte. And so we kind of learned that Vanessa is the one that put Charlotte into sleep mode. And she's like, hey, this girl. And so with that, there's two things that I really want to talk about with this movie. One is a small thing,
Mhm.
and one is a much bigger thing because of the first movie. So with that, they have the escape codes because if the animatronics go too far out, it starts to drain their system and they'll power down. So eventually, Abby runs back. She gets Chica, and then it's like the funny gag scene if you want to cover it right after.
All right. So yeah, so she manages to get Abby to undo the things. They go out and they get to the cab. Like it's like, hold on, I only brought my bike, so we can't fit. So she calls up a cab. Who's in the cab? Once again, reprising his role from the first movie, Corey X. Kenshin, y'all.
Boy, my theater was dying when that happened.
I'm like, yo, again. And
That's
and as soon as he came in, he was like, oh no, not you again. Like, girl, if you don't get out of here, and then Toy Chica pops into the car too. Of course, at this point, her beak falls off, which is lore accurate to the second game because after a certain point, her beak just falls off for no reason.
demon fuel.
Yeah, yeah, pure nightmare fuel. But it's like, man, I really need to get a better job, and then and he drives them straight to the school.
So, needless to say, well, with that, also Freddy is able to go to the Fast Fest. He's kind of walking around. He's like, "Yo," so that's an interesting scene because it shows that they're all out now. Uh, Needless to say, the teacher got clapped. Uh,
Thankfully,
he's I would say he's with the Lord, but we know he's not.
he's looking up at us right now.
So he got clapped. I would also say this movie had some of the best jump scares. The way that they were handled. There's one with Mike with the shadow where my entire theater almost gave it like a round of applause. That we'll get to in a bit. But so with that, also Charlotte has a vendetta against parents. So she's essentially like, I'm gonna hurt parents and people that like hurt me because like I needed help and y'all did nothing and let me die. Understandable. So with that, yeah, Freddy goes to like this older couple with that again, amazing jump scare. And then it's not
Boy,
Bunny.
Bonnie.
Bonnie, yes. So Bonnie, she goes to this window of this little girl and then just like this random mom. So she's trying to get her. And then initially Chica said that Foxy didn't survive the re-fixing process, but apparently Foxy did. So with that, at the original Fazbear's again, Mike goes, he's able to get Vanessa because this is after he talks to Charlotte's dad, who wasn't like who was upset because he wasn't in her life a lot.
Just,
He gives him a new box. Wait, you're
just
about to
FYI, he's played by Skeet Ulrich, aka Billy Loomis, aka the OG Ghostface killer from Scream. So you have both of them in this movie
Ooh.
together again.
Which one is the other one?
Stu, aka William Afton.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Dang, it's been so long. They were old. Cause yeah, they were cutting that scene like making it such like a hiding his face that entire time, and I was just like, wait, it was this guy. But that's crazy that they're able to pull. So Mike is able, he saves Vanessa. And then my question for this, so the code. He says he's better at hacking with computers. So he's like, Vanessa, you just go out, you try to save my sister. So with the mask thing that he was doing, is that for the introduced in the second game, where it's
Oh
like
yeah,
there's no door to
that is
yeah.
100% like they 100% like play. He basically played the second game where you have animatronics coming in from the vent on the left, and then you have animatronics in the hallway with no door, mind you. Again, that's very stupid, by the way. Which he points out, and then he looks at the mask like, "Oh yeah, that doesn't work." And yeah, it's completely accurate, even up to how it doesn't work on Foxy.
Oh my gosh. So how do you survive Foxy in the games?
Flash him with the flashlight until he goes away.
Oh my God. So yeah, with that again, the animatronics are where I stated. So Mike is trying to hack while he's at the same time trying to survive these animatronics. And like I said, the good jump scare was is like you see like eyes on like the wall, and then he picks up the flashlight, and then there's nothing there. That was one of the best teases that I've seen in a while for a horror movie. So with that, shuts everything down. Not before Vanessa is attacked by Foxy, who is again another nightmare fuel at this point.
Mangle. No, that is a mangle.
Oh, so that's different.
Oh yeah. All the toy animatronics is completely separate from the Wizards and the OGs, but yeah, that's mangle at that point.
So that one attacks, and then yeah, essentially, but Vanessa's able to save the older couple before Mike shuts them down. But we learn that, hey, Chica, quote unquote, is still alive at Mike's house. Vanessa thankfully gets a ride from our guy who I thought was going to get clapped at this point.
Before Jeremiah.
So with this, Mike, he goes back to not the OG Fazbear, but the one from the first movie. And he's just calling out, hey, Abby needs you. I don't know if you guys are here or not. Please help. With that, comes back to the house, and you're like, oh God, it's over. But not before that, all the animatronics cut back on that he just cut off.
Oh yeah, nah, that was downright grimy, but also what was just as grimy is when Vanessa gets to the house and you know
Ooh, yes,
that Abby is possessed by the marionette and she is on demon time.
Well, we have to talk about how she got possessed, kind of like you mentioned, where again haven't played the games, but we just see Chica, quote unquote, and all of a sudden she starts shaking like she has a xenomorph baby in her stomach,
a chest burster.
And then it just explodes, and then all of a sudden you just see the marionette pop out onto Abby. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, and that's a reference to the 6th game where the marionette's actually trapped in a like toy Freddy model.
Oof. Yes.
I was like, ooh, but yeah, Abby Marionette is grimy, out here with the beats, terrifying. But fortunately, Mike uses the box to
send her to sleep.
Yep, to put her to sleep, to free her. And
this
then
was so dumb. He immediately closed the box. I was like, why?
Thank you. I'm like, bro, if I was you, I'd keep that box open.
What are you doing?
Keep that mug open, replace batteries as needed. Do what you have to keep that thing going.
Dog, I immediately was like, what are you doing?
Like, bro, are you trying to die?
So, yeah, and then we get the quote unquote next surprise reveal.
Yep, where again all the toy animatronics are back, like they all crashing in through the house. And
first the brother.
Yeah, and then Michael comes in. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Hey, sis."
Dun dun dun.
So yeah, that is Michael Afton. Again, completely different from the version of Michael that's in the games. Theoretically, a lot of theories as to him as a character, but yeah, so he's evil. He's like, "Hey, I'm my daddy's son, and you your daddy daughter. So Afton is ours, and we can see who this place. Join me to the dark side." And she's like, "No, I got my family right here," and goes smile. I'm like, bro, is it me or like I was like, man, y'all need to just kiss already, but then at the same time, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Wait, maybe not the time.
Yep, not only not the time, but then I remembered, oh, right, he did say he was trying to fix her. I'm like, oh, right.
Coldplay song.
Yeah. Yeah, but all right, so now like Michael is like, all right, screw this. Everybody break their bones. And then he like runs out to get clotheslined by Jeremiah.
Yes.
I'm like, yes. But unfortunately, the animatronics are still going demon time until Bonnie gets taken out by OG Foxy.
Yes.
And then Toy Freddy gets taken out by OG Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Mangle gets taken out by OG Bonnie, because OG Bonnie is a demon in and of himself. And then finally, it's a Chica on Chica brawl. And by brawl, I mean 2 seconds, because she gets decapitated immediately.
Indeed.
But unfortunately, because they still work under the older settings, so they can't be outside the location, so they all die or
Okay.
get depowered.
So I will ask the question here. In the first movie, didn't they leave the Freddy Fazbear location?
No.
Didn't.
No, you're thinking of Golden Freddy. That was the only one that left.
Okay, because I remember, because like one of them got in the cab to dip.
That was Golden Freddy.
Okay,
Yeah, and Golden
so
Freddy
he's
works
different.
literally. Golden Freddy is just a disembodied spirit.
Okay,
That was just a literal ghost inhabiting.
okay, because I was literally like, dog. Didn't they leave in the first one? So how in the second one is it? But it's been a while since I watched it. So okay, that makes sense. You've explained it for me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
that was my big one. And so we can wrap up before I just get into my second one, which is a minor one.
All right. So yeah, so of course, again, Michael sleep on the floor, uh, and then the spirit of the boys, or the spirit of the Golden Freddy kid. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the one that, yeah, the little boy. He basically tells Michael like, hey, tells Mike that like, hey, I can't hold him back any longer. He's gonna be more powerful. Good luck. And then tells Abby like, hey, I'm going to heaven now. Just make sure you don't see me too soon.
Mhm.
But so and then, oh yeah, and then at the end of it, Mike, he just tells Vanessa like, stay away from me because I can't trust you anymore. I'm like,
Dude, the gasp in my theater and the pure shock. And I was kind of like that too because she wanted to go with them. But this is going to be controversial take. I think Mike is right.
mm,
Then think about it. So obviously, she knows in the first one that her dad is up to no good, and she's a cop. So she knows that in the first one before even meeting him, and she doesn't say that until like the very end of the movie when things start to go crazy. So she like in the first movie, she already know that he was getting hit with the okie doke. Flash forward, obviously, dad's crazy, that kind of control stuff. So flash forward to the second one. So then Mike learns that okay, not only that, but oh, there was another murder that happened at the original Freddy Fazbear. You were keeping that from me. Then fast forward again. Oh, you have a brother who is crazy. I didn't know that. So it's kind of like and then also I need to take care of Abby, but your family is targeting my sister and you're not telling me things that obviously, again, we said trauma, but you're not telling me things that I would need to know to protect my family. You can't be by me. So it's not popular. Obviously, in the later ones, I'll probably reunite after an exorcism, but I do understand it.
well, let's just say, after what happens, let's just say another character may have just gotten teased. First of all, a thing we didn't mention was that
We didn't, yeah.
Vanessa's dream was that like you saw the like the circus baby animatronic, which is like,
Yes.
ooh, ooh,
Yeah. That was the nightmare fuel. That was one I wanted to ask us. Well,
oh yeah, because let's just say that one comes with its own can of worms. I'll explain it after we're finished. But yeah, so the marionette wakes up again and ends up possessing Vanessa.
snatched her.
And let's just say that is a tease for what happens in the newer games, where there's a character named Vanessa. She gets possessed and goes on a killing spree wearing a bunny costume named Vanny.
Oh God.
Yeah, things ain't looking good for Vanessa, I ain't gonna lie.
So then the more like streamers or stuff, but these three dudes break into the Freddy Fazbear's from the first movie. They find not
Oh,
Snaptrap. What is the name? Springtrap.
Springtrap.
They find Springtrap, put the tarp over him, and his eyes start to light up, teasing that he will most likely be the villain in the third movie, and we're definitely getting a third movie.
Definitely get a third movie, and also again, that's a tease for the third game because they're going there for Fazbear Frights, which is the
Ooh.
location of the third game.
Okay, so is he a villain in the second game? Springtrap?
No,
Hmm. Is he teased in the first one though?
no.
Okay,
So
so he
here's
just
the thing.
pops up in third. Okay.
Here's the thing. Like you hear about what happened. Well, like what he's done,
Mm.
aka the murdered children in the first game.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
see a character named. Well, he doesn't have a name, but it's just like a guy like in all purple, and like you just see him, and then like some dead kids like right next to him with a giant smile on his face.
Mm.
So it's like, okay. And people are like, okay, he might have been the killer. Then it's the third game where you see Springtrap and you see Purple Man go from Purple Man to Yellow Rabbit.
Okay. So with that, my only other question in terms of animatronics, who is the boy with the helicopter hat?
Oh, Balloon Boy, the ultimate, the most hated animatronic. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Almost.
Why?
All right, it's because of what he does in the game. All right. In the second game, I told you, like, the flashlight is the only thing that can save you from Foxy, right?
Mm.
The whole thing about Balloon Boy is he goes in events, and if you don't stop him in time, aka you don't put on the mask in time, he will steal the batteries out of your flashlight, meaning that literally you're just waiting to die by Foxy at that point. And he does all of this, like, once he pops in the office, he just, that laugh that he does?
Yes.
It's just that nonstop as you're waiting for Foxy to kill you.
Oh my God.
You're like, die.
So can he kill you in the games himself or?
No.
Okay, so he's just a setup character.
He just sets you up to die by Foxy.
He throws the alley.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
All while laughing at you.
Okay.
Everybody hates him because of that.
That's so funny. All right, so my small thing is, I know this is a horror movie, so we can make exceptions, but we see that the animatronics, when they move, are very slow, and when they take steps, it's a thudding sound constantly.
Oh, you're about to do if you're thinking what I'm thinking, I'm like, I was thinking the same thing when I saw it.
But in the movie, for a lot of the jump scares, these dudes are moving silently and we can't hear them. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Again, we're fans of horror. Michael Myers, Jason, they don't walk faster than 0.5 miles per hour, but they will catch you 20 miles down the road. I get it, but how are they sneaking up on you?
And just know, like, again, the toy animatronics, heck, even the withered animatronics in this movie, they're not supernatural. They are just pure mechanical. The only supernatural one is the marionette.
Oh
so I understand how, because that moment for me arrived when Mike was on the computer. He looks up and he sees Withered Freddy about to snatch his soul. And you're like, whoa. My first thought was, Mike, where's your peripherals? Where's your survival instincts, my guy? Because there ain't no way that hunking junk of metal should have snuck up on you like that.
Dog, when I don't know, is it Evil Bonnie or does it have another name in the game?
Wait, which one? Oh,
the Evil Bonnie?
Oh, the one without the face?
Oh, I guess the face got fixed. No, the one that was in the girl's house with the mom.
Oh, Toy Bonnie.
Yeah, so she like sits on the bed and she's like, yo, let me talk to your mom real quick so we can see if she'll let us stay up. Immediately starts walking and is stomping. But when the mom opens the fridge and then closes, she's right there and the mom doesn't hear it.
Or how Toy Freddy got into them old people's house.
Yes. Again, I get that this is a horror movie, but how?
I can't answer that. I can't defend. At least with the games, you get because of the fact it's a point and click franchise, like you can kind of get away with that. And also, hey, these things are possessed by kids. What other supernatural elements could they get in there? I can give it that.
But even in the game, it's a condensed, closed space. So it kind of would be like if you're hearing something and then something else. But with this, it's wide open.
No way whatsoever.
All right, so what did you think about the tone of this movie? I feel like this one was definitely more comedic than the first one, or like aimed to be. Where the first one was kind of depressing because Mike, dead brother and stuff. Whereas this one had a lot more gags.
Yeah, I think it does have a lot more gags, and I think like I guess most of the angst because of the fact that in this movie you're only dealing with one dead kid versus the other movie where you had at least six.
That's true. And then even if you compare it, this one dead kid was an angry one that actually wanted to kill, as opposed to the other one where it was like they were like trapped souls that were being controlled.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So it's like, hey, like that thing, yeah, that one different.
So obviously we know difference between movies, games, you kind of have to expand. So this one took place most in and out, but a lot of it took place outside of the Freddy Fazbear location. In this second game, or in any of the games, does it go outside of the locations?
Mm, that's not well, I guess kind of like the fourth game where it takes place inside someone's house.
Hmm.
Or specifically in a child's bedroom.
Oh,
Oh yeah. I just knows that Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is about to be. Oh, that one's about to be dark. At least I pray it's gonna be dark. Considering a franchise with dead children, but so that yeah, it's like the fifth one takes place at Freddy's location. The sixth one takes place at Freddy's location. Outside of like mini games, security breach, death or VR is definitely one. Yeah. I think like almost all of them. Oh, Into the Pit. There's only one other game where it doesn't take place at a Freddy's location, and also Secret of the Mimic, the newest one that doesn't take place at a Freddy's location, takes place at its precursor.
okay. So with that, since we're getting into the third one, we're gonna see Springtrap. Are there a lot of new animatronics introduced into the third one? It could be a spoiler, it could be not. I mean,
So
who
the
knows?
third one is a very much a controversial one because it only has one active animatronic, that's Springtrap, but there's also like phantom animatronics, which are just hallucinations.
Ooh,
Yeah, so it's like the hallucinations, they don't kill you, they just make it so Springtrap can kill you faster.
that's fair. And then just for the movie, were the three dudes at the end like streamers or something?
Oh, the three dudes at the end, no,
Yeah.
they just work. It looked like they work at the Fazbear Frights who helps.
No, I was talking about like in real life, because like the way they framed it, I thought like maybe they're like people that are like big and like like in the first one.
Oh
where
yeah,
it's like a lot of people were, but
yeah, I have no idea who those people are.
yeah, there's people listening that are like, you dudes are idiots. These dudes were the biggest streamers of it.
Yeah, but also, I don't know if you stayed around till the end because there is like a recorded message.
Ooh.
So essentially at the end of it, like you don't see it, but you hear it throughout the credits. It's just a recorded message that the dad leaves for Mike, and he's like, "Hey, like I know you left quickly, but I wanted to warn you. So I'm actually Henry and Emily. I was the business partner of William Afton and helped create Freddy's in the first place and co-created the animatronics. And I need to warn you about the marionette." And then it cuts off.
Ooh.
Oh, so yeah, big reveal for everybody else. Not so much for if you're deep in the lore about like Charlotte, but yeah. Skeet Ulrich, aka OG Ghostface, was the partner of William Afton,
That's
aka Stu Mocker.
that's like three levels of meta. That's really deep. So, anything else you got big from this? My only other question is like, what other lore things did this movie touch on that, people might have missed?
Yeah. So you have Matt Pat, who big game theory, like he voiced Toy Bonnie. Uh,
Mhm.
Megan Fox voiced Toy Chica. Uh,
Did
yeah.
not know that.
And then Kellen Goff, who's who's actually worked on a lot of stuff. He's very well known. He's the one who voiced Toy Freddy. And when it comes to like the lore and like lore that also got revealed, you had, as I uh mentioned the baby, like circus baby animatronic, which lore wise is also very dark because the story behind it is that William Afton creates circus baby with the sole purpose of snatching up children by luring them in with ice cream and balloons, and then whenever the kid's alone, it snatches them up. However, what he didn't count on was the fact that his daughter ends up like growing a fondness of it. He always tells her to stay away from it, but one day she was all by herself, so she gets snatched up and she possesses the circus baby animatronic. So yeah. So William Afton ends up killing his own daughter.
Oof. Wow.
And that's the topic for the fifth game.
Okay, because I was gonna ask what game that comes in. So we're probably gonna get a lot of them. Probably gonna get a TV series, to be honest with you. I don't know how they would do that, but that'd be interesting. So we can get into the awards, but one thing that you mentioned about the critics and with the people, so the critics gave this movie a 12%. The fans gave it an 88%.
Darn right they did.
So let's get into the awards. All right, so for my first award, the Just Die Already. This dude is getting 2 awards, so it has to be the teacher. It has to be the moment he dropped it was the most grimy thing that I've seen on cinema in a long time. So yeah, we're just gonna throw the award at him. And it was so cool because we can see that nothing is in his head. So Just Die Already.
Yep. And you're also the op of the year. No explanation needed, because why would you do that to poor Abby? Why would you do that to a student, period? You should have gotten fired, but fortunately you got a fate worse than that. So thank you. Just die, and you're the op. So boom, I don't even blame it.
Fortunately, that's funny. All right. For my next award, the Magneto was right award. Originally I thought it was the Thanos was right, but this is going to Charlotte because I completely understand. So her quest to take out parents, especially considering the fact that if one person would have literally just like listened to her, she would be alive. There would be no Springtrap, and everything would be good in the Freddy Fazbear lore. But no, the parents literally were the dumbest parents and meanest parents I've seen in a long time. So you get what you get. So Magneto's right, and so is Charlotte.
And then my next award is the biggest idiot award. And it actually goes to 2 people. It goes to that one streamer. I mean, the one person from from Spectral Spooking, and also Mike for turning off the music box.
Yeah.
Because why would you? Why would you? Especially you, Mike. You should know better.
The Spectral Scooper you can let off the hook slightly. Mike, yes.
Oh, no, I'm not letting her off lightly, because there should be no reason why you should even be like doing that. It's like, okay, you see it, and you see how modern it looked.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it was put there recently, so why touch it? So yeah, both of y'all actually get a joint biggest shit award.
You see how the Spectral Scoopers were all non-melanated.
There's only one melanated person in this whole movie. What you mean?
Exactly, because we wouldn't be messing with none of this.
All
right, so for my final award, it's an infamous award. It is the Eren Yeager Uno reverse card. So this award references one of the most infamous twists in all of anime and television history. This has to go to when all the animatronics were cut off, and then they were like, nah, we still going. When Mike shut them down and all the animatronics came back on and now are being controlled by the marionette slash Michael at the same time. So that goes to all of y'all. Please do not hurt me. I'm not a parent yet.
Neither am I. And then for my last award, it is the Stealing Money Award, which goes to, actors who play in movies for small roles. I'm giving this to none other than Skeet Ulrich, aka Henry Emily, aka Billy Loomis, aka OG Ghostface, because you had three different levels of meta with that level of casting. That was just pure peak. And
Yeah.
again, that was the first time both I seen like in the like after watching the movie, I was like, okay, how did I know like did not realize he was in this movie? Turns out that was the first time both him and Matthew Lillard got together for a movie since the first screen.
Wow. That is crazy. So meta. All right. So with that, let's get into the tiers of the movie. Can you read off our tiers?
All right, so tiers, you got your F tier, you getting sent to the Shadow Realm, you got your D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and then the Citizen Kanes, the elite of the elite, the S tiers. What are you giving this movie?
Whew. All right. So it's interesting. So I definitely enjoyed this movie more than the first one. I think because of the theater that I had. And then it was just also more fun. And like had a lot of laughs and like the again, like I mentioned, the jump scares were good. But I do think the first one is slightly better just because of like how contained it is. But it's really interesting because what you mentioned with the critics, when this movie started, I was like, oh man, this is a lot. Especially again, if you played the games or if you like just watched the first movie, it's a contained story. Let's keep it quick. With this one, a lot was going on. There were like three main characters that we had to follow, multiple, well, two-ish, almost three villains that were like teased throughout the movie. But man, this was a good movie. I enjoyed it. This is definitely a movie. If you enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's or if you just want to have a good time, go see it. So I'm gonna give it a B tier.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, then for me, like I'm coming at this, despite my theater experience being less than optimal, uh I enjoyed this movie, especially if you're like a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Like I even think like this is a movie where you don't even have to go in there fully serious. Like you don't have to have your brain on and have like a cerebral experience. You can just turn your brain off, just sit in there, watch some animatronics get absolutely grimy. And like with that, you just yeah, you can just have a great time. It's a good movie to go and see, uh, even with kids as well, as you can clearly tell with my theater experience. So, which again, if you knew the lore, you would not allow a child to watch stuff like this. But this is the pot calling tea kettle Omega Black. Uh, but yes, so in any case, my ranking, I'll give this a good solid B tier.
Nice. With your theater experience, this is the reason, well, one, I didn't want to see this movie, but I didn't go see Minecraft. And then also like the second or third minute or fourth minutes movie, because I was like, I don't want to deal with these teenagers and idiots in the theater ruining my experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with that, we are gonna, since we took a week off, we are gonna get into a hefty what's hot. That is what is popular, new in anime, TV shows, comics, movies, gaming, and the like. Meech, what you got?
All right, I'm gonna keep it swift. We got One Piece going on hiatus very soon. One Punch Man or One Frames Man season 3, it's still out there. Spy Family, we just finished that arc. Gotcha Kuda still going. My Hero Academia is done. We bid thee farewell. And right off the cups of that, they teased My Hero Academia Vigilante season 2. So we still getting more.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. And also when it comes to anime, Crunchyroll no longer as of December 31st will no longer have their free service where you just watch ads throughout. Now it's a mandatory. So yeah, we got that. Now we got comics. We got the Absolute Universe. Well, firstly, Absolute Wonder Woman is about to meet Absolute Batman. Also, speaking of Batman, he and took down Bane in the most grimiest of ways, but even more grimy is Absolute Joker. Again, I will never face him, but what's even messed up is that just to rub even more salt in the room, they released some teaser pages for the newest issue, and Darkseid really gave this new Absolute Joker Bruce's whole life. Like he got a butler, he got a cave, he gave him everything, but instead gave him a demon form from hell. What?
He hates him. Hates Bruce.
Despises it. All right, and then Ultimate Spider-Man is about to end. Same with the Ultimate Universe with Ultimate Endgame. I'm sad about that. Miles Morales introduced like a new thing called the Origin Boxes. Apparently, that's going to be a new MacGuffin type of deal that's going to be unleashed in the main Marvel universe very soon.
Is that like a it's not a boombox. Is it a boombox? Mother box, yeah, in DC. Is it similar?
We have no idea what like literally it's just appeared and now it's there. So it's like
Okay.
it's the mystery behind that. Also, all new Venom. Yeah, MJ is Venom, but they also created like a backup issue, which is even better, because it's just like, hey, the story of Eddie Parker, who
Interesting.
it's literally just if Peter Parker and Eddie Brock's stories blended together, and instead of a radioactive spider, you got a symbiote named Pete. But
Wow.
yes, it's actually quite amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. Null's coming back too. But and the Queen in Black. All right, so moving on. We got in movies, we have Zootopia 2, that dropped. So did Eternity. Fire Avatar Fire and Brimstone coming soon. Um December 19th, if you want to see that. Return to Silent Hill, which is the movie adaptation of Silent Hill 2 coming out very soon. Supergirl.
Trailer should be out the week that we're recording. It might already be out by the time this episode releases.
Yes. All right. And then after that, in TV, you got Welcome to Derry. You got in theory, I think like one more episode by the time this episode drops. So if you ain't on it, get on that. It's grimy. And then we got Stranger Things.
I had a question for you. Is
Yeah.
this the peak year of children in peril in horror movies? Think about it. We had Weapons. That was a great performance by the Alex kid. We had Welcome to Derry. I will say these kids kind of make it hard for me to watch this show, but I do enjoy the show. Stranger Things, even though they're adults, and then we just covered Five Nights at Freddy's too.
Yeah. Kids are getting taken out left and right in this mug. But the only difference is that at least with Welcome to Derry, no kid is safe.
No.
No one is safe out of this mug. And I'm happy for that. So yeah, we got Stranger Things. This final season is kicking off. Also, they just announced a Nancy spinoff series. So
It's like a book, right?
I have no idea if it's a book or an actual series, but yeah, and then also The Boys dropped that trailer.
I'm mad at you, Mitch.
What did I do?
We're gonna miss the first 3 episodes of it because it releases April 8th and something else is on April 9th.
Who said anything? Who said we was missing something on that day?
We gotta go through these rehearsals.
Who said we was not gonna stay up? We will be watching in our hotel rooms.
We'll figure it out.
I will. I'll be like this. You're like, aren't you supposed to be going over something right now? Like, it'll happen later. We'll be fine. And then also Fallout Season 2 drops December 17th.
Yes.
We back in form.
We eating.
And then also in form on Netflix, the Sean Combs, The Reckoning.
I would have watched that so bad.
I am gonna watch that at work. All I know is that I saw a clip. On TikTok, and it was a 50 Cent
Jesus.
cheesing. He was barely containing his laughter. I'm like, hold on.
Dog, the stuff they said about what potentially happened with Biggie is crazy in that doc. I gotta check it out.
I have to. I have no choice. But yes, and then in the realm of gaming, you have Marvel Tokon Fighters, which is the supposed to take over the Marvel versus Capcom series. You got the Mound Omen of Cthulhu in 2026, you know what I'm saying? Hellraiser Revival, you know what I'm saying? Below, which is apparently Egyptian Outlast. Pokemon Legends ZA dropping their Z Mega evolutions. They dropped a new Mega Lucario, which looks suspiciously similar to Anubis in Power World. Um, I'm I'm just
Don't get
putting
us
that out.
sued. We still haven't seen the Afro Puff in a while. Don't get us sued.
I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out a similarity. And then
S-
also the
Wait, speaking of Pokemon, Death Battle just released Ash versus Yugi.
oh yeah, and I saw that too. Do, I'll tell you all about it after.
Yes, yeah.
Let's just say with that episode, no matter who wins, somebody's childhood is getting demolished.
Yeah.
But yes, and then also the gaming awards will be streamed this week on Thursday, and then that is all I got.
All right, so just quickly with anime, there's always one standout isekai. So the one this season is my skills as an assassin are clearly higher than the heroes. You
That's on my
mentioned
list.
yes, so I've started checking that out. Fresh, crisp animation. I enjoy it, so that's probably the standout isekai of the season. With that, you mentioned a lot. Another show, The Mighty Nine. So if you're fans, if you're fans of Dungeons and Dragons or Critical Role, that YouTube channel, The Mighty Nine, is on Amazon Prime for people to check out. Um, Paradise season 2 just got announced. They dropped the trailer for that. I saw it yesterday. I'm super hyped. Season 1 was an incredible show, so that's going to come out in February. Percy Jackson season 2 drops, I believe it's December 10th, so
Oh
sometime within.
yeah.
Those kids again have aged. I'm really annoyed because they took so long to make season 2, and in the books, I believe Percy at the last book is 16. This kid looks like he's already 14. And there's 4 more books to go.
Bruh.
So we got a Stranger Things situation on our hand. But that's basically it. The only other thing with going back quickly with Netflix and Warner Brothers, something that I saw teased is like since they own it, technically they can bring back the Snyderverse
Mm.
and have that as a Netflix exclusive, while they do the James Gunn version as the theatrical. He said he still has all creative control. Nothing has changed, but we all know how that goes. Everything's good until it's not.
Yeah, it is.
So, just quick housekeeping. We will be covering the gaming awards, so we will be complaining about games that we have not played and saying that games that we have played should have won the awards. So, getting into that, we will get our plugs and get up out of here.
All right, so Instagram, X formerly known as Twitter, and Threads under BlurCity22. Like, comment, subscribe, stay up to date on all notifications. You also have our Discord linked in the Instagram. We also have our YouTube and Patreon, Blur City Pod. Donate some extra cheddar, get access to episodes never before seen. We also have our email address, blurcity22@gmail.com, if you want to send your thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's 2, where you think the franchise will go next, and just what animatronics you want to see get pockets ran. And then finally, I am the Jedi Born on Mustafa on Instagram and TikTok. However long we got TikTok left before it goes full American. What you got?
All right, for my individual author pages, we have my Instagram, that is Mitri underscore dash, that is METRI underscore DSH. For my X/Twitter, that is at the mad dash 16. And if you're interested in my book, Phantom Reckoning, that is available on Amazon, Kindle, and Barnes and Noble. Please go and buy the merch, represent the Blurred City denizens that we have. So with that, we will leave you with some important words of encouragement.
Yep, and for my words of encouragement, something we alluded to throughout this entire episode, which is the fact that when it comes to other people's trauma, you do not get to dictate their timeline. You do not get to tell someone that, hey, you should get over this by now, because everyone processes differently, and you may not know the full scope of what they have going on.
Indeed. And for mine, a lot more levity, but it applies to real life. Do not drop kids' science fair projects that they worked hard on. Whatever happens to you is whatever happens to you. So, with that, it's not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. That's the Blerd City Podcast.
See ya later.